Hello and welcome to the channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate that so much. Man, they don't make them like they used to. My God, isn't that statement so true? My goodness, how the mighty have fallen. And I'm talking about just these big companies that used to make these solid, reliable vehicles. But ever since the pandemic hit, it seems like the quality has just gone out the window. I don't know whether they're rushing the product out because they're scared of the new EV, initiatives that's coming through where they're banning all these ICE vehicles by certain dates. So I don't know why. I think maybe the companies are trying to rush and put all these vehicles out as fast as they can because the end is near for ICE vehicles in certain states, but I don't know what's going on. Maybe the shortage of supply and they're just cutting corners and not putting certain features in the cars. I mean, we've seen that happen to multiple different manufacturers where they're cutting out certain features because they don't have the necessary product or they don't have the necessary what is it? Products or items or things. Parts, that's the word I was looking for. Parts. They don't have the right parts to put in there, or the parts is not available for them to put in the vehicles to make those features available for you guys. That's why I said to kind of steer clear of the new generation of vehicles because it's going to be missing a ton of feature because of the shortages of semiconductors and all that good stuff. So this is kind of disappointing, the fact that Toyota is recalling 84,000 vehicles ranging from Toyota all the way to Lexus. So even Lexus, man, that's not good. That's not good at all. So let's go ahead and cover the news. All right, here we go. Toyota and Lexus are recalling 83,735 vehicles in the U.S. for an ECU issue that could see the parking brake fail. If that happens, the vehicle could be at risk of rolling away. What about the emergency brake? Most people don't use the emergency brake. I suggest you start using the emergency brake now because if the parking brake fails. You put the car in P. I guess if that fails, whoa. That could be dangerous, especially if you're working your car and it rolls on you and might kill you. The issue affects some 2022 Toyota Tundras produced between November 2nd, 2021 and August 23, 2022, as well as some 2022 Lexus NX 250s made between May 28, 2021 and August 22nd, 2022. And finally, 2022 Lexus NX 350s constructed between April 8th, 2021 and August 22, 2022. In these vehicles, the possible that the skid control ECU within the brake actuator assembly could falsely detect an overcurrent condition of electronic parking brake actuator that would cause the parking brake to enter into a fail-safe mode and could prevent it from engaging. Ooh. If that happens, a light would appear in the dash to warn the driver if they are ignored. If they ignore that, stop their car, attempted to park without first putting the transmission into park, the vehicle could roll away. Oh shit. That's not good. So let me read that again. In these vehicles, it's possible that the skid control ECU within the brake actuator assembly could falsely detect an overcurrent condition of the electronic brake actuator. So is that when you're operating the vehicle that happens, or is it when you are stopped at a stoplight, or when is this exactly happening? That would cause the parking brake to enter into a fail-safe mode and could prevent it from engaging. So when you're trying to put it into park, I guess that's when it would prevent you from going to park and cause the vehicle to roll away. Parking brake to enter into fail-safe mode and could prevent it from engaging. If that happens, a light would appear in the dash to warn the driver. But if they ignored, stopped their car, and attempted to park without first putting the transmission into park, the vehicle could roll away. So don't ignore those lights. That's not good at all. Although that would be a big issue if the vehicle was sold in the state, it would be abide by regulation. What is more likely is that the parking brake would become stuck in a engaged position, preventing a driver from moving their vehicle. Indeed, that's the scenario in which problem first came to attention of Toyota. In January 2022, a customer could not disengage their parking brake. In its investigation, the automaker came to understand that this problem could in fact occur prior to first sale, meaning that this particular vehicle do not meet the requirements of FMVSS number or dot 135 paragraph S7 dash or dot 12.3, whatever. Owners affected vehicles will be alerted via a warning light if the issue crops up. They will also be contacted by Toyota starting on October 17, asked to bring their vehicles in for service, where a dealer will reprogram the skid control ECU at no cost to the customer. But that's just an inconvenience. I mean, for such a big company that's been known to make reliable vehicles, this is unacceptable. And I've been saying that a lot about Toyota, like some of the poor quality issues with the turbos, and now you have issues with the parking brake where it won't engage or let you disengage. It's crazy. This is crazy. How the mighty have fallen. Indeed. 84,000 vehicles, man. But 84,000 comparing to how much they make a year, I guess you can count it to just a small percentage, but it's still, in my book, this is very much unacceptable, knowing how Toyota is and how they operate their company and all that. Going back to their roots where, they try to make the best quality product as possible. I don't know what has happened ever since the pandemic hit. Toyota's quality has just gone out the window consistently. We've had multiple recalls, and Toyota's not the only one. Honda's been in the same boat too with the recalls of, lack of quality control, just a plethora of different things, recalls, etc. But, it's kind of thing. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on, to be completely honest with you guys. As long as they take care of the customer, but they've known about this since January. According to the article, since January 17, when somebody said something about it. Indeed, the scenario in which the problem first came to the attention of Toyota, when in January 2022, a customer could not disengage their parking brake. In its investigation, the automaker came to understand that the problem this could be in fact occur prior to the first sale, meaning that this particular vehicle did not meet the requirement. So why was it for sale if it did not meet the requirement? Why was it out there? And that's 84,000 vehicles. I mean, what happens? Worst case scenario, if somebody gets killed, then you have a bunch of lawsuit, and it's just gonna, muddy the name. I mean, I guess names don't mean shit anymore because to me, the big companies that I know in my life that were building solid vehicles is just these two big juggernauts, in my opinion. Everybody has different opinion. You may have like a one-off car from General Motors that's still going strong, one-off from Chrysler or one-off from BMW, Audi, different companies. You may have certain vehicles that are still Ford that are still on the road, but when you're talking about Honda, when you're talking about Toyota, these names carry heavy weight. And the fact that they're built upon having these bulletproof engines. Well, Honda used to be like, you can beat the shit out of the motor on that vehicle and it would still keep going and going and going and going. It used to be screamers, man. I miss those days. But unfortunately, those days are out the window. And now we are in the era of turbocharged engines, and only time will tell, and seeing how these are efficient or how long they're going to be lasting. Only time will tell. But so far, it's not looking so good. It's not looking too good for these big juggernauts, and I hope that they can turn it around and start to be known for their quality yet again. But still, like for me, there are smaller cars like their Corollas and their RAV4s, and those specific vehicles have been, they're still solid to me. Honda, same thing with the Civics. Even though the 1.5 Turbo had its issues with the oil dilutions. I mean, I think they're in a better position now than they were before, a couple of years ago when they had that issue, and they corrected it. They gave you an extended warranty, etc. So companies are trying to do the right thing. I'm all for it, and as long as they're accountable and own up to their mistakes, I always give them a chance. But if they just try to blame somebody else for their shortcoming, that's when I'm just like, nah. Because when I make a mistake on my channel, or when I give you misinformation or whatever it is, you know me, guys. I come out here and I make a video and I try to be as, whatever. I try to hold myself accountable, just like I'm trying to hold these companies accountable. Because when you accept these things, they're going to keep doing them. They're just going to keep moving the envelope. But anyway, enough of me chit-chatting. I will see you in the next one. As always, make sure to like and subscribe, and I appreciate every single one of you. I'm out.